Well, welcome everyone.
Hello. Welcome to our live feed.
This is 25 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is 25.
Yeah.
God, man. We've done quite a few of these, approximately 25.
Yeah. Plus live shows.
Plus the lives, yeah. I actually enjoy the lives a lot. I don't know if you guys enjoy the lives as much as I do. If you do, please tune in because they are a lot of fun. I really do enjoy taking the questions and having the conversation.
Thanks for telling them to tune in when they're tuned in.
I'm saying thank you for tuning in. Am I not? I'm saying for next time, too. Make sure you tune in next time. This guy. I got to work with this guy. Anyway.
I got to work with this guy.
I'm your host, Freddie Mercury.
I'd say Mario.
It's pretty bad.
It's disgusting.
This is by the way, this is the second to last live stream that you will see this here because the next live stream, I think we'll be doing it live. Will we not be?
Are we?
I think we're shaving it live.
Oh, good.
I think we'll shave it live. Yeah. It'll be fun.
Like the chainsaw out for this thing. Weed whacker. Oh.
Anybody on there yet? I know Joe's there.
Yeah. Joe says hello. Travis McLean says hello.
Okay.
And right now we got 9 people watching.
I'm hoping the winner of the Google Home shows up, and if he does, we'll announce the winner as soon as he pops in.
Jay, was he emailed?
No.
He was not emailed. Okay,
Nothing
so
went
he
out?
doesn't know.
Okay.
It's just been drawn at 9 p.m.
Oh.
Oh.
Half an hour ago.
Just now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't know.
I thought it was yesterday for some reason.
Whatever.
It works.
So anyway,
Sweet.
this is I think it's gonna be a very stat heavy episode. I feel like.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal.
We don't normally jump this deep into the stats. I don't think.
We have before a couple times, but
Yeah?
maybe not as deep as this.
Yeah,
is
not like
what we're
this though.
gonna do.
Yeah.
Basically, we are defending Martin Jones because people are throwing out the shade against Jonesy. And DeBoer, too. Even DeBoer, people are calling for him to be fired. And I think a lot of that has to do with Coach Q getting fired in Chicago. And what's funny is it's probably someone's going to ask this question. You know, they're going to log in later. But I showed you Kenville gets paid $6 million a year this season and next season. But if he takes an offer from another team, he doesn't get paid. So someone will probably have to pay him at least 6 or more.
Or more, yeah.
And I don't think he's you get paid $6 million for a year and a half to do nothing.
Yeah.
Or you're getting, I guess, $9 million if we got half of it. Let's say.
I think he's earned the vacation, to be honest. And yeah,
Totally.
sure, I'll take 12 mil to just sit back and relax.
I know my
Why
wife would be
not?
like, "You aren't working. You're taking the money and you're sitting at home. I haven't seen you in 15 years
Yeah.
or whatever it is. How long
Right.
he's been coaching." Yeah.
Yeah, no, some lucky team's gonna land him for the right price and everything, and then they'll be happy with him, and it'll all
Right.
be great. It's just not gonna be the Sharks, guys.
No. Pete DeBoer is here to stay.
Yeah.
They call me JoJo. So about that Vegas game, yeah, whatever. One game. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Better, like I said on Twitter, better in November than in April or March.
That is very true.
So I'm fine with it.
That is very true. And the thing to remember, and DeBoer said it too after the game, was look, they just lost 7-1 against Calgary, I think it was, right? The Vegas did?
Yeah.
And it happens. It happens to good teams. What you brought up a stat, Washington Capitals.
I was like, all right, let's see if Washington got waxed last year at all during the season. They lost 8-2 to the Flyers in October. That's probably the closest I can find that's early in the season.
Yeah.
And Philly owned them again in February. They lost to Pittsburgh 7-4 in February. They lost 7-1 to Chicago in February. They lost 5-1 to Columbus in almost
and
March.
the point is, this is the team that went on to win the cup, right? So this is just something that happens. Sometimes you just don't have your mojo that night, and when it's just not working, it's not personified, I shouldn't say, but it's exemplified. It's amplified. Is the right word I think I'm looking for.
I think we're in the era of Twitter where everything's instant, right?
Yeah.
And you get, multiple people talking like, "Oh, Jones sucks. We need to get rid of him."
Yeah.
Then someone's like, "Yeah, Jones sucks. Yeah, we need to get rid of him." And it's like a mob mentality.
Yeah.
And same with Pete DeBoer. Like, Pete sucks.
Yeah.
We should be dominating the NHL. Sure. I mean, we're really not that bad. The Sharks are not that bad. Luckily, they're in a very weak division.
That's true. Yeah.
And in fact, I don't know if we got cut out or what, but Someone tweeted out the other day the stats of I lost my train of thought. Awesome. Boop, gone.
Pete DeBoer, fire Pete DeBoer.
Oh,
That's what they're saying.
The division
Yeah.
being the weakest.
There you
It's the first time in the last decade that the Southeast Division is no longer the weakest division. The Pacific is this year, based on
Yeah.
all these stats of points and all
Yeah.
this stuff. So,
But the funny thing is, that's still again, it's not. We're not even halfway through the year. The Pacific Division could pick up. Who knows, right?
well, we're seeing Vegas starting to get a little bit better.
Vegas is getting hot. Pat them on the back, folks. Vancouver,
Vancouver
Vancouver falling off.
Like I said, 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Vancouver's just not a strong team. I think the reason everyone panics so much with the loss is because we most likely will face Vegas in the playoffs again this year, and it's just concerning.
But it's one game.
It's one game. They're going to play 3 more in the season.
I think everyone, like you said, in this day and age, right? Everything's instant. I think everyone is so quick to look for that instant, I called it kind of thing, right? Where you look and you see a team get blown up. Excuse me. A team get blown up, and you go, well, this is how it's going to be every time.
Right.
No, that's not at all how it is.
Or
every
you see
time.
the Sharks blow up Philly.
Yeah.
What was that earlier in the season? 7 to something. I don't remember.
Yeah, I forget. I think
go
they're
back
8.
and
8?
look.
Was it 8?
That was like the first game that they
Yeah,
broke
they
out and
just-
scored a
they
ton of
just-
goals.
Ghetto stomped Philly. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
That's how we do it. Yeah, and does that mean
8
we're gonna blast
8
Philly
to
every time
2.
we play them? No. Doesn't
No,
mean-
it is. Are they going to play like that every
No.
single game? No.
It's a combination of one team maybe being on their game and another team maybe being off their game, and then you have a score like that, right?
Well, I still blame Gritty. That was the introduction of Gritty. Really got smashed into the league with
Yeah.
on that game. It's
Nice.
great.
So yeah,
Thanks, Josh.
I think there's more. There's more to it than just this team lost to that team. It's always going to be that way. That's just not the case. It doesn't necessarily even mean that the players on that team are just that much better than the players on the other team. It's just maybe the mojo just wasn't there. And again, sometimes you can have a brain fart and it costs you a goal. If you're having a brain fart across your roster for the whole night, that's when you start getting these really nasty scores. And it's not going to be like that every single night.
I mean, we saw Kurz ask
Yeah.
after last night's game.
Oh,
He
yeah.
asked Pete, and Pete kind of blew up at him. Which, asking a question like that when Pete was just kicked out of the game and he's obviously hot and bothered, you can expect to get that response out
Yeah.
of him, I think.
Hot and bothered, probably not the right.
Right. Well,
Phrase there,
what I
but
mean,
yeah.
hot and
Yeah.
angry,
Yeah.
salty, as
Salty.
Kurz said, salty.
He had time to cool down though. He got kicked out and he had some minutes there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he was that upset, but I think he just doesn't really like Kurz right now. I think a lot of people, for some reason, I get it. They they don't really like Kurz right now because he's giving them a lot of the truth.
Yeah.
He's telling them,
Yeah.
this team doesn't look like a Stanley Cup contender, and that's true. A team
Well,
that's
we met Kurz last week.
Yeah.
And he's not a fan. I mean, he wasn't a Sharks
Yes.
fan. He's from Philly.
yeah.
So I think that helps that he's an outsider kind of.
Yes, it does. For his line of work, I would say
Yeah.
that absolutely does help. Yeah.
A lot of people don't like him, and I have no problem. I mean, personally, I like him. He's a cool guy, but the work that he does, Sharks fans get really sensitive about.
Well, yeah.
They almost have like a complex because they've never won a cup, right? Like we just get so angry when people point out the truth sometimes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get upset about the questions that he asks, but that's part of his job too, right? I mean, his job is to kind of poke and prod and see if he can get a reaction sometimes, and to maybe get an answer or two that maybe fans are wondering. Like he asked him about why he took apart the Couture line that time.
Yeah.
And he's asking him why the inconsistencies. As a fan, I'm sure many of you guys are asking the same questions. Why are the Sharks so inconsistent, right? The funny thing is, and I put this out to Discord on the NHL chat Discord, not the Sharks Discord, but the NHL one. And I said, hey, I'm looking for, you guys to tell me, do you feel like your team's very consistent? It's like everybody said, yeah, our team, they're so up and down. You can't predict what they're going to do
Yeah.
any given night. It's not just us, guys. It's not exclusive to Sharks territory. It's across the NHL. Every fan sees their team on a good night and on a bad night. It's just that we end up looking at other teams from their overall highlights.
Grass is green.
Right? Yeah,
Right.
exactly. We take a look at, Malcolm got this beautiful goal. How come we don't have anybody that does that? Well, Malcolm's not scoring like that every single night either, right?
Right.
So, it's perspective, really. We have our eyes on our team when we see every little thing that we do right and wrong.
The two teams leading the league in points, Nashville and Tampa Bay, right? We beat Nashville twice.
Yeah.
Out of the 6 losses they have in the year,
Mhm.
that 2 of them are from us. So obviously we have their number, which is fine.
Do we, though?
But I mean, for the regular season,
Yeah, okay, so put us in the playoffs. Does that mean, we've already beat the Predators twice?
no.
Does that mean we just...
Well, we always beat the Predators. but-
Okay, but does that mean necessarily we spank
No.
them? No, it
No.
doesn't, right? So it's hard to tell. You can't really say that just because you've beaten them that we're a better team than they are, or whatever the case may be, right? I mean, their
Right.
record says that they're a better team than us, yet we've beaten them twice. So
question on here.
Yeah.
What's sticking in my mind is LeBanc making questionable plays
Yes.
this year. He's got okay points, but sell me on him.
can't.
He's young.
Yeah.
He's young. He's going to
Labonte.
get what?
Labonte.
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 Labonte. Labonte. Labonte.
Yeah.
LeBanc.
Kevin.
Right.
Kevin.
Anyway, he's another young guy that he's only going to get better, I think.
Yeah.
He's going to make mistakes. He's a creative player. He's not a guy that he doesn't stick to the system and just play, whatever. He's creative. He tries to create things, takes chances. Doesn't always work. Sometimes it does. I don't mind. It's kind of like Burns. Like they let Burns just go. Like
Yeah.
you don't play a system, just do your thing. Same with Carlson, just do your thing. Not that LeBanc has that much of a leash
I was
compared to
gonna
those
say,
guys,
yeah.
but at the same time, you have to let him create stuff. I hate when the Sharks, like a couple years ago, the Sharks were a team, I think under Ron Wilson and Todd McClellan, were a systematic team, and there's just periods and stretches where they're playing with no creativity, and it's so boring. You know what they're going to do. The other team knows what they're going to do, and it's not working,
Yeah,
and they just
yeah.
keep doing it. So I like this a little bit better. It's a little bit more riskier.
Yeah.
But I think the rewards are better, and it's more exciting hockey. So
Yeah.
I like LeBanc. I like what he offers. I think he's got a lot more potential to be better. He's going to get better.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. He is still young. I think we kind of forget that because he's been with the team for a while here, and he's played so many games over the course of the season.
Yeah.
And he's still young. He's going to get, like Aaron said, better. And we've seen Timo Meier getting better. We've seen, a guy like Chris Tierney before he got traded, he was getting better. Our younger guys are just kind of stepping up. I mean, LeBanc's he's trusted on the power play, right?
He's 22 years old.
Yeah. No, there you go. Yeah, he's 22.
Sorry.
So,
that's very young.
Yeah, you're going to see this guy getting better. So to sell you on him, maybe I can't do that right now. But I think if you keep your eye on him like a good stock, right? Keep your eye on it and let it ride for a few years, and he's going to be a very good player in the league. Now, is he going to be the next Joe Thornton? Maybe not. But he's certainly got some of that touch. I've seen him make some really nice plays out there, but I've also seen him make some really questionable ones. These no look behind the back drop kind of things that he ends up giving it up. I think he needs to keep his head on a swivel and clean that stuff up.
Keep it a little simpler.
Yeah,
Sometimes
simplify.
you try too much.
And if you're going to do that stuff, fine, but you need to be sure of it before you pull the trigger. And that's stuff you're going to learn with experience and age.
He went from 20 points his rookie year, 20 points in 55 games, to 40 points in 77 games. And this year he's at 15 in 24. So he's getting better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
not something that I'm see. Those are not stats that I would say sell me on the guy. He's a third liner. He's playing alongside Jumbo.
potential second liner. I think that's his potential.
Well, I'm saying right now, those numbers for a guy that's playing on the third line, those are good numbers.
I don't think he's going to be this standout superstar player, but I think he's a good second line guy who could fill in on the first if someone gets hurt.
Yeah.
But and this is maybe another year or two down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a third line guy, and he's playing with Jumbo on the third line, that's just scary for other teams.
It really is. It really is when you put it that way, because he's known for his goal scoring coming out of the junior leagues. He's known for the goal scoring. He's not known as like the playmaker. He comes on the Sharks and he becomes the playmaker all of a sudden.
Right.
You know, so two guys like that who can move the puck and control the puck really well for a third line, that's a tough matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple things. I'm honestly a bit hopeful for the Buffalo game coming up. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Toronto game with considering the tough loss on the 15th and with the winning streak of Buffalo? Do you think the Sharks will be able to end it? We actually, I mean, we'll talk about it right now, but we have a little segment that we're going to include in the episode as well, going over this week's games of Buffalo, Toronto, and Ottawa. 3 big games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo is a very young team that's up and coming, and they've got, like you said, they're on an 8-game point or a
9-game win streak. They've got the juice right now.
Yeah, so they are finally gelling and putting it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Darlene, the guy who went first overall, is a generational talent on the back end.
Nice.
He's only 18, I think. 18. He's a young defenseman, kind of like a Carlson type player, just a playmaker.
Yeah.
And it took him a little while to adjust, and just like Carlson, took 20-something games, and now he's doing pretty well. I think it's going to be a tough game. I don't think the Sharks historically have done very well in Buffalo.
No.
It's just a hard place to play. It's a very far place to play.
Yeah.
Coming from the West Coast.
Yeah, there was a long time where we just could not beat Buffalo.
I think,
and they were like a horrible team, and we couldn't beat them.
I think the first game that we beat them was when Jumbo got traded to the Sharks, and that was his first game as a Shark or second game as a Shark or something. I think the first game or the second game we played Boston, and he got ejected in the first 2 minutes of the game for boarding, and it was kind of a BS call too. Okay, a bunch of stuff coming in now. Sorry, you want to say anything?
No, you're good.
All right.
Yeah, good.
And going back to that, the Toronto game, that's going to be tough. I mean, Toronto's one of the best in the league. I think the Sharks can match them.
I think both of those teams are going to be really big tests, and it's not like you fail the test, we suck. It's just they're really good teams. If you lose, you lose. But they are very good teams. Now remember, they're both coming from out of the East. If you're going to face one of them in the playoffs, it's going to be in the finals, and you're only going to have to face one of them. So we'll get there if we get there. But I mean, for the regular season, these are two teams that are strong powerhouse teams. Expect a good battle back and forth. I don't think the Sharks are going to lay over in the Buffalo game. I think they're gonna bounce back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Quick one.
Yeah.
Choose only one player. Carlson or Burns? Meyer or Hurdle? Who would you want on your team, I guess? Choose one player.
Carlson or
Burns? Who would you rather have?
I'm going to get crucified. I'd rather have Carlson. And Timo or Hurdle? Hurdle. I would take Hurdle. Okay, here's why. I would rather have Carlson, not because I think he's necessarily better than Burns. I think Burns, again, is going to get more goals, obviously, at this point in the season. It's easy to say that. But I think Carlson's skating ability is insane, and his stick handling ability is insane. He's, I think, better defensively than Burns is. And I've seen him be way too calm under pressure, way too cool under pressure. And that's the type of thing that I would want on my team.
I think
there's absolutely nothing wrong with Burns. I have to say, I have to cut you off to say there is nothing wrong with Burns. I don't think there's a problem with Burns.
I think the difference is Carlson makes your team and teammates better. Burns is more of like a finisher.
Yes.
And he's a less of a creator, more of a finisher. Not that he doesn't create.
Yeah,
but
I think you're going to get a better
team.
A team game, I think, out of Carlson than you will with Burns. Yeah, but yes, Burns is a juggernaut. Now, Hurdle over Timo, I've just seen Hurdle make way too many awesome plays protecting the puck. And I think we looked at faceoffs too.
He's a center.
Faceoffs.
Hurdle's a center, and Meyer's a winger. Yeah. And centers have a little bit more responsibility in their own end, which Hurdle does very well.
Yep. And we saw about faceoffs. Hurdle too was very good with faceoffs. Obviously, it's not fair to say anything about Timo because he's not a centerman, but those are the guys I would take.
Okay, speaking of Timo, back when the Sharks drafted him, the draft panel called him a Swiss Marian Hossa. Has he lived to the comparison with his development of the season and potential for the future? I think he's a different type of player than Marian. I think he's more of a power forward.
Yeah.
Marian was a little bit more skillful and better skater.
He had a little more of a touch to him than a prototypical power forward.
And he was also like more of a Selke type guy, very defensive, very good in his own end defensively, and very hard to play against. He had a lot of shorthanded goals because he was on the penalty kill.
Timo's more of a freight train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's getting bigger.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get bigger and stronger in the next
That's
year
the scary
or two.
thing, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bigger,
He's
faster,
already taken a
stronger.
really big step forward this
Mhm.
season, and then you're going to talk about him getting bigger and stronger. Are you kidding me?
We got about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Are the high goals against totals more to blame on goaltending or the defense in front of them?
Defense. All day long defense. I will say this, and we'll talk about the numbers too. Yes, Jones' numbers have gotten progressively worse over the years. But we're talking about, apart from this season, which isn't over yet, so again, there could be an uptick in team defense, and his numbers could jump up as a result. But we're talking about very minimal amounts that they've declined. It hasn't been like a gigantic jump, right? So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to defend him. I know because all the stats kind of say one thing, but they're saying it in very tiny increments too. So, and that's something that we'll get into during the show. But yes, team defense, it needs to be much better. The game, the 6-0 game the other day,
Yeah.
where everyone's going, see, this is why Dell Dell is the backup, but that's not why he's not a starter. It's why our team is getting questionable questions from the media about team defense.
So tough set. This is from Joe. Tough set of games ahead. 3 straight back-to-backs down to Dallas for a solo, then another back-to-back. Is this going to be one of the worst stretches we see from San Jose for the season? Like I think this will be.
Well, I mean,
worst is in they're not going to do well. I think it's going to be one of the toughest.
That's the question.
And I think after getting spanked last night, the team's going to pull together and say we need to get our act together. And I think they usually bounce back well. After.
Yeah, and something I was planning on kind of saying on the show was, Pete DeBoer, after he got ejected, the reason he got ejected is because he was talking to the ref about Kane getting ejected. And I think he didn't even swear at him. He just said, "Did that feel good? Did that feel good kicking the guy out of the game?" It was a hip-on-hip hit. They're down 5-0 already, and he ejects the guy. So he gives it to the ref a little bit. Didn't even swear at him. He should have swore at him, got his money's worth if he didn't get ejected. But
maybe he did after he got ejected.
Yeah, probably did. So yeah, he gets tossed for that. You know what? When you're a player and you get a big hit on you, right? Dazed a little bit, you get up, you get off the ice, and you've got your teammate going out there and he wants to drop the gloves with the guy that hit you. That says a lot about the team chemistry. And I feel like that's what Pete DeBoer did the equivalent of, right? He got ejected for sticking up for his guy. The only way that he can't drop the gloves with the ref, obviously. But he did what he could. He gave it to him, the ref, right?
Yeah.
The words that he could give him.
Right.
And he got ejected for it. And I think the team, honestly, sees that and goes, Pete's got our back.
That's what someone just said.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
glad
there you go.
Pete has the players' backs to
Yeah.
at least say something to the ref.
And I feel like that's why I feel like the effort in Buffalo will be much greater. Not just that, but I feel like the effort in Buffalo is going to be much greater, partially because there's going to be that kumbaya moment amongst them, right? Where it's like Pete stuck up for us, essentially.
Yeah. The players know that, like they respect that too, and they'll respond as well. And there's been some questions of people saying that he's lost the locker room and all that stuff, which. I don't know how you would know that without being in the locker room.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, I think if you're making that's wild accusations, and it may or may not be true, but unless there's any truth behind that, unless there's any evidence behind that, I'm not buying it. So
Tim Heed or Joachim Ryan. Tim Heed was playing on the right wing on the second power play unit on Friday.
Heed or Ryan? I would go with Ryan just for the experience that he's got. They're essentially
sixth defenseman.
You're not going to get
defenseman.
Yeah, you're not going to get anything greater necessarily by playing one versus the other.
6 minutes left.
Okay.
How do you think Carlson will play against his old team and his old home ice this coming Saturday?
It's going to be emotional for him.
I think they're going to do a tribute to him.
Oh yeah.
There'll probably be a video tribute, maybe before the game or maybe during, like in between the commercial break.
Yeah, commercial break probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's think about when they did it for Marlowe. Before the
game
game even started, before they even dropped the puck.
Yeah.
They did a huge
So that's
welcome
probably
back and tons of cheering for like 5 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
I bet they do something like that.
Before the national anthems,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I bet they do something before anything happens.
I think he's going to go off, and I think that's one of the topics I have is he is heating up and he is on fire right now. So, as Kurse mentioned, and I think Dan too the week before that, was that everyone's expecting 20 to 25 minutes. Oh, sorry. Everyone's expecting 20 to 25 games for him to get back to it, and that's
More like
right
30.
where they're at.
Yeah.
Well, we're at 25 25 played now. 24?
Yeah, but he's saying 25, 30 games or so was
Yeah.
what the scouts were saying.
and
Yeah.
that's where we're at, and
Yeah.
and you're seeing what he can do now.
And let's not forget that he had a partner for 10 games that he no longer plays with, so it's kind of like a reset for him. I'm not giving him an extra 10-game mulligan, but it's you got to learn Brendan Dillon, and hopefully he's done that by now. But
Is this Evander Kane's first game back in Buffalo since he was traded?
ooh,
I don't think the Sharks were in Buffalo when he was on the Sharks. I know Buffalo came to San Jose.
Buffalo came to San Jose because he had that awesome mic'd up moment with Jack Eichel. He said they gave you my jersey because he had the number 9.
Yeah.
Because but they put the C on it. Awesome.
Let me scroll back up. What are your thoughts on the defense currently? We're giving up 3 or more goals in 9 of our 12 games this month.
Our
and 4
defense
more 7 times.
It needs to be better. It just flat out. It just needs to be better. I don't put this on the goaltenders.
I say not just defenders. It's also
Yes,
the forwards. We were
yes.
talking about this right before we went
Yeah.
on the air. I think what we were talking about was the forward needs to track back, or maybe we were talking about on the air. But one of the wingers needs to come back and play defensively. So like when Burns or Carlson or even Vlasic or somebody else goes into the zone with the puck and they're pinching, one of the forwards, usually the winger, will come back and cover the point for them. And I don't think they've been doing as good of a job getting back as they have been in the past, like in the last season. So I think once that kind of gets a little shored up and better, everything's going to tighten up and get a little bit better.
See, and I even see it as the forwards, even in the offensive zone, when you're not protecting that puck and you're not possessing it, and your defense thinks that you are going to possess it, even if both defenders are back. As soon as the other team gets that puck, if their transition game is snap fast, forget it. You've already got a 3-on-2 or worse going the other direction. Your forwards need to be protecting the puck, and if they're not going to be able to protect that puck, they need to start giving themselves a little bit of a step back before that puck breaks up and out. It's not just when I say there's a difference between team defense and the team's defense.
Yeah.
Right? The team's defense is 6 guys. Team defense is 20 guys all the way through 19, I guess, 18 guys throughout the roster. And there's a big difference between blaming it on one guy that's sitting in the net or the 6 guys in front of him, or what it really is. It's all of them. Even in the defensive zone, you've got coverage that needs to happen, and that's happening by the forwards as well. If you got a guy that's cycling in and down low, you still got the center who needs to flow around and do that. If the puck's coming up to the point, you need your wingers to come up and cover that. Otherwise, you get a bomb, right? And then there's a screen, a tip, or whatever else. You need to be able to block those shots, get in those lanes. And that's the things that the Sharks aren't doing really well right now, is they're allowing all these shots on goal from all these dangerous areas, and the puck's going in the net. You need to be able to shore that stuff up. And it's a whole team effort. It's not any one person. You can't say, if we replaced that one guy with somebody else, we would have won that game. If we put Martin Jones in for Dell, the outcome would have been largely the same,
And
in my
would
opinion.
have been really.
Some people,
Going
no,
at it.
exactly.
I'm
Right?
almost glad Dell was in for that 6-0 loss.
No, because it proves a point.
Right.
It does.
Yeah.
Honestly, and there was a question that was asked. I can't remember which reporter asked it. And it said, "Does this just go to show that it doesn't really matter who you put in net? It matters about the defense that's in front of them, and not defense, but the whole team playing well defensively in front of them." And I can't remember what the answers were, but my answer would be absolutely. It doesn't really matter who you're putting in. One is better than the other one, maybe marginally better than the other one. Although Jones, I think, has the ability to play for a longer stretch than Dell does. But it largely depends on the whole team in front of that goalie playing well. We've seen AHL quality goaltenders playing in the AHL get scored on left and right, come up in the NHL, and all of a sudden they're getting shutouts.
Why do you think Niemi won a cup with Chicago? Their defense.
Their team
he
defense.
made the first save, and then the defense would clean out.
So now
the
I've just opened up
rebounds.
the can of worms of fire Pete DeBoer, because obviously our team defense isn't good enough, right? So, look, it's a system thing, yes, but it's also the players playing to that system. If they're not able to do that, then yes, those are things you work on. But I think, again, you can't replace one person and say, see, we would have won that game. It's a whole team effort.
Okay, quick questions.
Yeah.
If you had to make a trade to solidify the Sharks roster, what position would you be looking at as the most crucial? 4th line center, I think, is what.
Yeah.
Everyone who's come on the show, Kurz,
Yeah.
Dan, and maybe Randy earlier.
I think we just need one more offensive defenseman. No, I think you're
Doughty.
right. I think Doughty. Get
Doughty.
Doughty. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think yeah, for sure.
I
that
don't think we
fourth line
really
center.
need much. I think you just need the team to just gel a little bit more.
I mean, okay, so when you say make a trade, yeah, I think the thing that you could most
I
likely
think-
get.
Okay, I think who we need to trade off of our team
Okay.
is one of the seventh defensemen that we
Yes.
keep scratching because
Yes.
it's kind of log jamming our forwards.
Heed is your best chance at that because
Yeah.
he's got a little bit of NHL experience both this season and last. And by this season, I mean, 2 games? But Shimmick has not seen NHL ice, period.
Right.
So this is a guy who may be promising and may be of interest to other teams, but they've got no tape on this guy, right? So at least not at the NHL level. So I think your best bet at that is Tim Heed. And quite frankly, again, I said it episodes ago, I think you're going to see Tim Heed get shipped out.
Yeah.
Not because he's bad, not because he can't cut it, but because
It also gives him a chance to play in the NHL, which he deserves.
I think I honestly
Career-wise, he needs to get
genuinely
moved.
believe that the GM does care
Yeah.
about the player
Totally.
beyond just what they can do for my team. I feel like they're willing to
not
give
as-
that player an opportunity.
It's not as cutthroat as you think
Yeah.
it is with GMs, which is exactly why you never see offer sheets.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost done.
Okay. Last
Last
question.
Who do you expect to be the starter on net against 2 top teams back to back on Tuesday and Wednesday? I'd say Jones and Dell.
Jones Lendell.
I don't think they're gonna put both of them in. Let's see. It's,
You do not
it's
start
Buffalo,
Dell.
Toronto. I don't think you start Dell. I think
You go with Jones in Buffalo, then you go to Dell in Toronto.
that's tough.
You
man.
just had Dell go back to back. Either that or you go Jones twice, back to back. Jones is getting that first game against Buffalo, period. I'd be shocked. Absolutely shocked. The second game in Toronto, it's either if Jones is feeling up
It
to
just
it,
they
they'll throw
got
him in.
screwed up. They should have put Jones in against the Knights last night. Then he would go against.
Yes.
Then Dell would come in the Sabres and Jones would get
Yep.
Maple Leafs. But
Yep.
So what do you think, Jones Sabres?
Jones for sure against the Sabres, and then
I wouldn't be
toss-up.
surprised if they did Jones both. Both games.
That's what I just said. Yeah, so
Yeah.
either Jones both games
Mhm.
or Jones and then Dell.
I would do Jones both
Yeah.
games. How nervous should we be? They're fine. Don't be nervous.
No.
Yeah, it's early. Still early. Did DeBoer swearing off Kurz seem justified, or was that a reasonable question? I think Kurz's question was a little poking the bear. I don't think it was necessary.
I think it was okay. I think he was just hot.
I don't think it was bad.
Yeah.
I think it was just you caught DeBoer at a bad time.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Are we,
Who would win in a real life fight between a buffalo and a shark? Are they on land or in the water? It's a great
Yeah.
question.
If they're in the
Shark.
water, the
Duh.
buffalo. If they're on land, is it Sharknado? Because
Yeah. This might be too early to say this, but what do you think about the future of this team after the season? Do you think we have a second chance for the cup after this?
after the season, are we a cup contender?
After the season, I
do we
think
re-sign Eric Carlson?
if we re-sign Eric Carlson, yes.
yes.
I think so. I
Why
think we
not?
have a great chance because then we'll have a lot of people locked up. Top 6 forward Jorge wants to be
I
traded.
think we're out of time though.
That's okay. We're fine.
Okay. fine.
Jones Buffalo, sure, the live streams definitely needs to be longer. Sorry, maybe we'll go longer in the future, or maybe we'll do a whole episode of just us being live.
I would
answering
like that
questions.
actually.
Yeah, I think our producer's
Oh,
clapping.
he's
in the
clapping right
background.
now. Yeah. But we would need large participation. I think because I mean we're getting how many people?
We
are
have
on right now?
28 on right
So
now.
28 people. If you can get our 1,000 subscribers to be on at the same time,
I think the timing's a little hard for
Why?
people.
just because somebody
late
lives
at
in
night.
Finland.
Yeah. All right, last question. Does Pavelski seem more productive at center, or is it just me? Well, he's a center.
No,
I know he plays.
he moved.
He played wing.
Yeah, he moved to wing. But no, I agree. I think he's a better centerman.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think it matters. I think
When he was playing with Kane last season,
he was centering.
he was
Kane.
centering.
But he started the season last year hurt. Kane,
Yeah.
Pavelski did.
Yeah.
For just like Thornton, like not until Christmas, whatever. Yeah. So
For me, a winger is. I like seeing wingers with speed. I can care less really if the centerman has that much speed. Now, Connor McDavid, obviously the exception to that, but I like seeing the centerman being able to help out more defensively.
yeah.
And then help get the puck up and out of the zone while the wingers are streaking, right? Just flying up the boards, not taking their clothes off.
Right.
But that's why I think Sorensen, centered by
Scoring.
centered by Thornton and Labonce,
Right.
why that line works so well LeBlanc's got a good amount of speed. Skorenson's got a really good amount of speed, and Jumbo doesn't need the speed to get the puck up to him.
Yeah.
He beats people with his passes,
Right.
than his foot more than his foot speed. Right.
He's been
So
like that career. Yeah.
I love that too. That you're saying like with Pavelski, people saying he's too slow. He's too slow. He's been
Right.
hearing that since he was drafted,
Yeah.
and look where he is. He's the
Yep.
captain of the friggin' team. You know. So yeah. I don't know.
That's enough for now.
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, that's enough. We gotta get going because we gotta record the episode and we gotta get this stuff
It's
together.
too
So
bad.
thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, and we love the questions. We love the feedback. And
Please, if you can find it in yourself, I know I've been saying this as much as I can now. I need you guys to make this worth it for me, okay? At mobro.co, mobro.co
we'll post it right
slash the Fin Factor. If you can give even $1, now none of this goes to me, okay? This is all for the cause. This is for men's health issues and whatnot. So if
mo.bro/the
mobro.co slash the Fin Factor. mobro.co slash the Fin Factor. If you are able to give anything, because basically by the next time I see you guys, it's going to be over with. So this is my last chance to kind of pitch this to you. So again, if you can find it yourself to, please give $1, $10, whatever you can, and it goes towards a really good cause. And I feel like I've done something instead of just growing this thing for no reason.
Please donate. It's disgusting.
Yes. And next
next
time,
week we'll be shaving it off.
please come back for the live next time, because I think we will be doing a live shaving of the face. So that sounds really weird coming out of my mouth, to be honest with you. But that's what we're gonna do. So
Right.
anyway, are we good? We're good.
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 All right.
Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys after we record, and that'll be Monday, right? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Monday.
Very good. Okay.
Check out our episode, and thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Thanks for questions.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.